If you're a coach right now, there's a reason why your content isn't getting you as many leads as it used to. And the annoying part is that on the surface, everything looks okay. You're posting, you're getting likes, you're getting saves, and you're getting comments that are triggering many chat automations in the back end. But then a couple hours later, you check your phone to just check and see how it's performing, and it's dead. You're literally accidentally training your audience to ignore you. I've seen this played out 100 different times. Over the past few years, my coaching clients have made over $60 million in revenue, signed multi-million-dollar brands, and helped thousands of people with their coaching offers. And every single time their content stops working, it comes back to these 5 mistakes I'm gonna tell you in this video. But first, I need you to understand this. Right now, the coaching market is as saturated as ever. Everyone's posting nonstop everywhere. Everyone's having something to sell. And ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever you wanna call it, it's giving your audience this fake feeling of I can just figure it out by myself, which means they're even pickier about who they trust. So if your content doesn't feel credible, doesn't feel personal, and doesn't feel like you're gonna disappear. So here's the takeaway. Every piece of content you post right now is either pulling people towards you or pushing them away. And unfortunately, there's no middle ground. And most coaches don't realize they're training their audience to ignore them, so let's fix that right now. So here's the first mistake that usually kills most conversions than anything else. Lack of personalization. You know, you're always looking to opt in for people who are giving you the best 100 hooks for content, because your content doesn't feel like you're speaking to one person. It feels like you're just speaking to the algorithm because you're working hard to hack it to get more views and to get more reach. So when I say personalization, I don't mean saying their name. I literally just mean describing their life better than they can. And I found a really cool, very easy way to do this with Reddit and ChatGPT that you can steal, and it's literally free. And I'll show you how to do this in less than 5 minutes so you can actually have content that speaks directly to your ideal customer profile. So if you want to see how that's done, just DM me the word Reddit on Instagram and I'll send you the instructions, because that's a different video. The thing right now in the coaching space is that most coaches right now are just posting category content, which means fitness tips, mindset tips, relationship tips. It's not human content. It's literally as bad as generic content as it gets. Human content is the type of content that once you post and somebody watches it, they literally say, how the fuck did he know I'm going through this? And it's not easy to post that type of content because you really have to know and be in the trenches of what your ICP is going through right now. So you have to understand right now, especially on Instagram, people don't go to Instagram to educate themselves like you're here on YouTube right now, because you're actually in the mindset of learning something most of the times. On Instagram, you're just doom scrolling and brain rotting. So it has to feel like you're not just pushing and teaching. It's more about relatable content that honestly, it's entertaining content. They don't want another tutorial unless it's like a recipe or something quick. They want to feel understood, because at the end of the day, people buy on recognition, people buy on the coaching rather than the advice and the tips. Like, when was last time you dropped $5,000 because somebody was saying these are the 5 best glute workouts? People don't care. So right now, because there's so much information, you can't compete on information, because if you're competing on information and tips, you're already lost. You have to compete on relevance, authority, and authenticity. And the fastest way to create personalized content is to find what people complain about, find what people are thinking about, find out what people are really struggling with. Number 2 is lack of identity. You know, at a certain point, everyone's starting to find the best hacks to get more reach or go viral. And in that pursuit of virality or more views or more reach, people started to copy references in their market. So a couple of years ago in the business space, maybe even today, people were copying or mostly edits. Like, so much so that it became a category. Like, how do I edit like him? So everyone started to look like him, or everyone started to copy Imangati or the POV type of videos from Daniel Dallin. Everyone started to copy references in the market, and everyone just became a copy of all the other brands. So the second your audience can't tell your content apart from somebody else's or some of your competitors, you're lost. Because at the end of the day, what people actually remember aren't the tips or your favorite books, it's how you make them feel. And the way you can create content that creates that shift in their mind is identity content. Because at the end of the day, that's what actually people remember. If your content doesn't make somebody feel, I know exactly who this guy is, I know exactly who this girl is, and I know what they stand for, then you don't have any identity. You're pretty much in the middle. You're very neutral. What I found when I'm helping clients is that most of my clients and most of the coaches in the space, they hide behind value content because they're afraid of actually speaking their mind, speaking their philosophy. They're playing very safe. They're playing the safeguard of, I'm just going to repeat this tip with something else. I'm going to repeat this advice with something else. And this is a huge mistake. It's because you're not showing who you are. And at the end of the day, again, people want to buy proximity. People want to buy the coach, not so much the coaching. So if you're just repeating tips and tricks and all this bullshit, then you're not speaking to who you are as a person. And it's going to make it very hard for you to sell something high ticket. So if you want a formula for identity, remember this. Identity equals your voice, your POV, your experience, your stories, and your conviction. The reason why conviction is so important, because you can copy somebody else's POV, you can copy somebody else's experience and tips, but conviction is how you deliver the message punch because you've lived through that. Number 3 is the lack of right testimonials. You need to show transformation. When I say transformation, I don't say before and afters. I don't say this person made this amount of money. None of that. The right testimonial isn't I made 20K, I lost 20 pounds. It's the story behind the transformation. I was stuck, I was overwhelmed, my life sucked. Now I'm calm, I'm confident, I feel better in my skin. That you have to really show that story and that transformation, because people want to relate to the person who just went through the transformation. It's very hard to relate to somebody when they just say, hey, I made 100K this month. You can't relate to that. But when that person or that client of yours speaks about the transformation they went through, the pains, the struggles, the trenches, all those bad things, and then they came out on the other side of the spectrum and they came with that win, that story is the relatable part that makes people click and think differently about the testimonials that you have. That relatability is the part of the testimonial that makes your prospects say, this person can help me, because they've helped people that went through the same struggles that I've been to. Impressive testimonials usually, most of the times, attracts skeptics. Relatable testimonials attracts buyers. Number 4 is call to action issues. Most coaches make their CTAs too weak or too desperate. The DM me info, DM me scale, DM me fat loss, it's old. It's getting overused and people are very much tuning it out. I need you to put yourself in the shoes of like always having different sales assets that you can give away. And they don't have to be complicated sales assets like full 30-page PDFs or 15-hour mini courses or whatever it is. Make it simple, make it relatable, make it something that solves a small problem, and make it something that people can have very easy to consume. And that stems from the CTA. The content that you're posting has to be, again, very valuable, very relatable, and with personality, and give people an action they can take right then and there. That's clear and is extremely centered in I want to help you, just like the example I did above but the other example about the Reddit. I want to help you. Like if you want to make sure you make content that's very personalized to the people you want to help to, literally just go to Reddit, go to ChatGPT and use the instructions that I'm going to give you if you message me on IG, because that's a different video. That's how you make content that stands out. The same way when you create content, it has to have a great CTA that you want to help people. Now, when you have different CTAs to get people on calls or it's sales, it's different. But if all of your content it's about sales, then it's going to be very hard for you to connect with people, because at the end of the day, when people feel like you want to help them, it creates a different connection. So I urge you to create a bunch of micro lead magnets. Anytime you have conversations with clients, literally take that conversation, take the transcript, run it to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, hey, what was the main problem I solved in this call? Help me out. And then just create a Google Doc about that. That's it. Help people. But don't make it desperate. Don't make it weak. Make the piece of content extremely relatable to a pain that they're going through and give them something they can implement. Again, short form content is a door. The CTA that you give is something that unlocks the next step. It's very hard for you to educate people in short form, to give them all the thing that you went through with a client, whatever it is. The short form piece of content is what sells the CTA. The CTA is simple, it's actionable, it's directly solving their pain, and it's something that shouldn't take you too long to finish out. Again, run the transcript to ChatGPT, you should be good. Number 5, last, is an unclear process. Now that you have micro lead magnets, now you have all the other parts of a good piece of content, you're making things too complicated. You want to use ManyChat, you want to use 50 different steps in your automation, and you're just making it complicated for your team to actually do something about that, or for leads to follow through and just get the thing that they want. You have to understand that a confused lead never buys. So if your DM automation is like, they comment, you send them a DM, they wait, then they fill a random form, and then you send them a link, and then you ask for a call, people, it's Think of the last time you opted in for something. Just put yourself in the shoes of your client. Just don't make it complicated. Make it very, very simple. High trust buying feels very smooth. Again, if you're charging somebody high ticket, you want to make it very simple. It depends on the different levels of sophistication in the market. But if, for example, you DM me, I'm pretending like you're somebody who owns a business, and you know that if you DM me for something, I'm gonna DM you the thing. I'm not gonna have to hide it behind 50 different paywalls or anything. It's like, hey, you want this thing? Here it is. Is there anything else that I can help you with? Very simple. When you're in lower sophistication markets, maybe in the fitness space or relationship space or whatever, maybe you need a little bit more context, but don't overcomplicate the process to get somebody to buy from you. Don't overcomplicate it. You're getting too much into the weeds of like psychological and like different questions that you can ask to dive deep into pain. Like, you just be human. Like, literally just be a human. Have curiosity, have conviction, have care, and just have the willingness to have a conversation with somebody to help them. Because the more you complicate this process, the more people are gonna ghost you, because they can tell and they can smell that you're trying to sell them something. So again, let me just recap exactly what we went through. The 5 biggest mistakes on content that's holding you back from getting more clients is lack of personalization, lack of identity, lack of the right testimonials to show, call to action issues because you're making it so complicated, and lastly, a very unclear process. But at the end of the day, all of this is just creating more awareness, more reach, and more eyeballs into your offer. At the end of the day, you have to understand how to close or how to convert these eyeballs into paying customers. We ran through a process for a client that made $200,000 in 45 days because we cracked the code on content, awareness, and conversions all through DMs, making it very simple. If you want to see how we did all of that, just click the video that's on the screen right now, because once you watch that, you're going to understand the process behind creating good content, good awareness, and converting that into paying clients. For now, I'll see you in the next one.